Dc40 Santa's Christmas Dinner. Soul-touching and life-enhancing stories. Santa's Christmas Dinner. A Christmas story. In the morning on the day before Christmas, everybody on the planet Earth received an invitation for a Christmas dinner at Santa's castle at the North Pole Star. The invitation was on recycled old-fashioned red paper with Christmas decorations, and the letters were beautiful handwritten in gold color. For those who couldn't read, it was no problem, because Santa's voice was audible at the same time. Dear children of the earth, the elves and myself are inviting you to a special Christmas dinner at my palace at the North Pole Star. You and your entire family and everybody residing on the planet Earth is invited. Pick-up time, 10 a.m. tomorrow, Christmas Day. Clothing, casual. What to bring? An open mind and heart. Return, you will be back home before midnight. Stand in front of your home or building and show the invitation. Hope you all come. Santa. It was an easy day for many, as they didn't have to make any further preparations for Christmas Day. But for others it was not such an easy deal. Many reluctantly accept the invitation, because they had a hard time dealing with the fact that everybody had been invited, regardless their social status, faith and skin color. Then there were those who didn't accept the invitation and fighting inside their mind, trying to imagine what they would be missing. Those who decided to celebrate with Santa and his elves Christmas Day made sure that they were ready and standing with their invitation at their door, ready to be picked up. Snowflakes started to come from the sky, and the sounds of bells was entering their ears. It was a magical scene, suddenly seeing way up in the sky, between the snowflakes, countless sleighs pulled by reindeer and chauffeured by elves coming down. Everywhere the elves picked up the guests, and while stepping in the sleigh, they were offered some healthy refreshments. Christmas songs were filling the air, and everybody was given a long white robe, a white Santa's hat, and a white mask with no face expression. And while putting on the mask, it magically became part of one's skin, which made it very easy to move the eyes and the mouth. Everybody looked the same, and for sure this was done with a purpose, and everybody was excited inside their mind and heart. Traveling between the stars, planets and the galaxies, everybody was waving at each other, and the feeling of wanting to be together increased while getting closer and flying into the North Pole Star. After landing in front of Santa's castle, which was entirely decorated like a Christmas tree, they were escorted to the throne chamber. The throne chamber that was transformed into a huge dining place with large round tables that seated 10 to 20 individuals. The entire throne chamber, likewise the castle on the outside, was decorated in the most magical ways, and on the tables miniature Christmas trees were standing, with very tiny elves who were living inside the home-looking ornaments. They all had the lights on in their homes that created a wondrous light for each table. On different balconies around in the throne chamber there were small bands of elves playing. They were playing Christmas songs, and when one band was finished playing a song, another continued playing. Santa, dressed in white, was sitting on his throne and waved to everybody while entering, and the magic continued as the throne chamber became larger in size as more and more guests entered. But at the same time, everybody felt as if they were sitting close together and close to Santa. It was 11 a.m., and Santa stood up and spoke. Welcome, children of the earth. I hope you are not too uncomfortable with your masks, but This is as close I could bring you to who you really are underneath your earthly mask. You are all eternal souls, crystal children of the everlasting sound and light, children of love, or God, or any name given to that which has no name and which is beyond physical form. Maybe this image will help you further in your life, and when looking at each other, realizing that you are all the same, one big family of eternal brothers and sisters. During our special dinner, you can take off this mask at any time, but now let the dinner begin. You can go in any of the kitchens to prepare your own fresh juice, smoothie, shake, fruit platter, or non-alcoholic cocktail. The elves will assist you with ideas, but I ask you to clean the kitchen and the equipment right after, and after consuming your food, please return the empty plates and glasses to the kitchen. Clean them and put them back in the cabinets. After everybody returned to their table with their platter or glass, the curtains of the big theater stage behind and above Santa opened. The elves had put together a comical musical theatrical performance about how Santa tamed the reindeer. Everybody had a good laugh, and after the performance everybody went back in the kitchen to clean up. Santa had announced that everybody was invited to the toy factories in the different wings of the castle. While seeing the incredible work of the elves, individuals felt naturally inclined to participate, and everybody, regarding their skills, started to work. At 1 p.m., everybody was told to go back to the kitchens to prepare a salad for someone else on their table. A pleasant communication took place and everybody was asking about their choice and preference of salad items and of course the salad dressings. Elves helped out wherever they were needed, and everybody ended up at the table with the most incredible decorated plates of salad. In the background, soft instrumental Christmas music composition assisted to slow everybody down to consume their salad in peace. After everybody participated in the cleaning, they went to explore Santa's magical gardens and were invited to pick or choose their food items for the next meal and the herbs for teas that would come later. The food items available were an assortment of the basic foods from different cultures around the planet. The elves assisted and explained more about these simple foods. At 5 p.m., everybody was asked to start their meal in the kitchen with the help of the elves, and incredible-looking meals were prepared, such as rice and peas, corn and beans, mashed potatoes with carrots, plantain with rice, different foods from below the soil and different grain dishes. The natural way of working with spices and herbs came to the surface, and the smells filled the air, which made everybody hungry. When they returned to the throne chamber, everybody was encouraged to choose a different table with different individuals seated. Slowly but surely, everybody was taking off their masks and feeling comfortable with whoever they got in contact with, and it was only then that they discovered that they all had spoken the same language. Then, when everybody started to speak in their own language, it seemed to be as well no problem because all kinds of creative ways were invented to communicate with one another. After everybody was finished cleaning in the kitchen, the elves gave demonstrations on how to make healthy and raw desserts, and made the suggestion to consume these rich but healthy items as a meal by itself. The evening celebrations were held at Christmas Tree Forest, where the elves were busy decorating each tree in the most magical ways, and because there was so much art and craft material available, everybody participated. When a tree was completed, groups of individuals that spoke the same language gathered around the tree, and elves started to share various Christmas stories. After all the stars had come out, to add to the incredible evening, it started to snow, and everybody returned to the castle for a cup of tea, after which they got ready to be transported back to the planet Earth. Nobody was lazy or sick from eating too much, and everybody present took with them the idea to not try to consume a 3 or 4-course meal in one setting anymore. Santa sitting on his throne, with all the elves gathered around him, they were pleased to have given a Christmas experience to those all they had partaken, and that they would never forget. What the story could bring us. Many meals we consume are not just a 2, 3 or 4-course meal, consumed in a fast speed while talking, but each course is already a very complex composition of endless ingredients. Not to forget all the artificial growing processes and unnatural preparations it had to go through, and of course, the lack of fresh foods and the lack of love and consciousness of those involved, from the growing, selling, buying to the preparation of these foods. In addition, while consuming these foods, realize that there is little peace around and inside the mind, filled with the endless thoughts and the talking and the noises around. They are another disturbing factor. This all in addition to the consciousness connected to why we eat. Are we living to eat or eating to live? That should give a clearer picture that a lot of energy is needed to process this all, and very little energy is received to assist the body with life energy, being the fuel to live a healthy and vital life.